Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers Podcast, episode 107. Let's go. We got another PFL event to talk about. We got another UFC event to talk about. Don't roll your eyes, ginger motherfucker. I saw that. UFC 303 PFL 6. Let's fucking go. Before we get into all of the good stuff, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I know I appreciate it. It makes my heart just throb. Just, you know what I mean? What's the problem? What's everyone's looks today? What the fuck? I'm just trying to have a good old grand old time, and nobody wants to have fun with me.
See, I was about to make a joke that, people are gonna look at me like that. The way I roll my eyes at like PFL, and I'm not a big PFL fan. I think people would know that by now, and be like, "Oh, he's a UFC loyalist." And even though I talk a lot of shit about the UFC, it's like
We all know how uninterested you are when us are talking, Ginger. Okay. Especially Kate. We all know. You just don't give a damn at all.
That's true.
But let's go. We got some fights coming up this week. We got PFL on Friday, UFC on Saturday. Let's start with the PFL since it's happening first, and we'll get through it much, much quicker.
Yes.
Main event, we do got 145 pounds and 170 pounds featherweights, welterweights for this card. Main event is Brendan Loughnane taking on Justin J. Train Gonzalez.
Brendan Loughnane should get the win here.
Yep.
Easily.
He really should. He'll honestly probably finish him.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. It's the second part of like the regular season before they get into like the playoffs. It's very obvious what they got going on. They match make it very specifically, so the people that they really want to be in there, they're gonna make it in there, and then the people that are like, okay, let's just see who's better and who can get it done, then they let them fight each other and just see what happens with those. It's like Justin Gonzalez, he just got knocked out 2 months ago, first round by Gabriel Braga.
1 second left of the first round.
Brendan just got a first round knockout in his last one. Like, obviously, they're looking for Brendan to go in with 12 points. You know what I mean? Like,
To be fair, that was Justin's first KO TKO loss.
No, yeah, but still, just either way on a 3-fight losing streak, it's
yeah.
That's why I said Brendan should win regardless.
He should win regardless. It's just interesting. The only reason I bring that up is because he has fought like Aaron Pico. He fought. Wait, hold on. I need to make sure this is right. Nope. Okay, different Bruno Fajeda. I wanted to make sure. I saw Bruno Fajeda. I'm like,
you're like, that's
Bruno Fajeda. Hold up. No, I need to make sure. But no, like Aaron Pico, he lost to him, but it was a decision. But Pico's known to have power. Like that's why I'm like,
yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like how many times someone gets knocked out and they're fighting 2 months later, and we're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely one of those times where that's definitely going to happen. I just want to point out. It's not like dude gets finished all the time.
No, yeah, but to Jimmy's point, it was 2 months ago, and it's not like he got ground and pounded. He got one left hook and done, you know? Like,
yeah. No, yeah.
It's just a rough situation for a lot of these fighters coming in. Like, it, you know, for someone like, Justin Gonzalez, I'm sure he's probably looking at it as like, oh, this is a great opportunity to beat a bigger name in the PFL and I can get a first round finish and find my way into the bracket. And you know what I mean? But it's like the odds are just always so stacked against them in a lot of them. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And then it's like other ones that it's like, you know, they looking for more better contests for sure. But for like no real point to kind of go into like every single individual fight. There are some good matchups. Braga versus Bubba Jenkins. I am pretty excited for that to kind of see how that plays out. We got fucking Magomed Umalatov back. But I guess the real kind of question that I have for this one, who do you think are going to be the big tournament players coming out of this one heading into the brackets?
Well, 145, Brendan Loughnane, Gabriel Braga. That just out the gate. They're the ones who I definitely think are going to be number 1 and number 2.
Yep, both got first round finishes.
I think Kai Kamaka could get into the bracket.
Yeah, because he had the win over Bubba Jenkins in the last fight. He's fighting Pedro, who's the one who got knocked out by Brendan. So it's like, even if he gets a decision win, he'll have 6 points and be 2-0 against some of these guys that'll be 1-1 and shit, you know?
Yep.
And I think if I remember right, the people who are ranked, who are at number 3 and number 4 are fighting, correct? No, but they are both on this card, and you know,
Yeah,
if one of them loses, automatically gets bumped in there,
so I'm gonna go Kai, Timur, and then Gabriel and Brendan.
Yeah,
for 145.
Yeah, that's what I think is
100%.
more than likely what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. It's definitely going to depend on how, these ones play out, who gets the finishes at what point, and, where the actual bracket gets lined up. But yeah, that's definitely who I'm favoring to be in the top 4. I feel like no matter who Kai fights out of any of those 3, he's going to lose.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I feel like Brendan's best chance is to get the tournament is if he gets Kai in the first one, so then Braga can fight Timur. Because I feel like Braga might be able to get it done against Timur. I don't know if Brendan can beat Kizriev though, and I think Brendan can beat Braga. That's definitely possible.
Yeah, no, that's definitely entirely possible. Just all depends on how these fights go.
But it's if Timur ends up with Kai and then we get fucking Braga and Brendan in that first part, it could end up being Timur's tournament for sure. Just a very solid grappler, 15-0 at 145 pounds. Just a grind them out style. It's just hard as fuck to get past that for a lot of these guys. But then 170 pounds, we got some good names in the division. My boy Andrei Koreshkov, he's fighting Goichi Yamauchi. He did lose the decision to Magomed Umalatov in the first one. Didn't really look too great in that one. I was a little bit disappointed. Goichi got the decision over Neiman Gracie. So that's definitely one where I feel like they're hoping that Goichi is just going to be able to grind out another decision or something, get him into the bracket. But I'm hoping my boy Koreshkov can land some nasty spinning shit to get the first round finish and get himself in there,
Yeah. The only 2 people I'm pretty confident will be there is Magomed Umalatov and Murad Ramazanov.
Yeah.
Past that, I'm not sure how this is going.
I think you could definitely end up with Don Madge in there for sure.
Probably.
I was about to say, Don Madge, the thing with that is I feel like he's still probably going to be in the tournament just because he does have 6 points. There are only 2 people in there that have 6 points, so it just all depends on tiebreakers, all that. Because if both Umalatov and Goichi were to both lose, then it really
Umalatov ain't losing, man.
So what's interesting though that I just realized about the 170 and how they match things, because I realized in the co-main you have Logan Storley versus Staropoli, both of them coming off of losses, and then you have 2 undefeated in Murad Ramazanov and Shamil Musayev fighting each other, both coming off of wins. So who do you think they're trying to get in there by knocking one of these guys at least down? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is weird.
Because they never do this. It's
this is the one time that we're just kind of talking about everything in the matchmaking. They did kind of make it a little wacky at 170 this time, huh?
Yeah, no. It's also, why is Logan the only reason Logan Storley and Staropoli are in the co-main is because Logan Storley is just a bigger name.
Yeah, and
it's that's so weird. Neither of them have really a shot unless it's a first round finish.
Yeah, because then you have Lorenz Larkin, and I don't know if this is a part of it.
I think that's a showcase bout.
Okay, because I was going to say, because they're not even a part of it, but that makes more sense then.
Yeah, because even with saying that, with Goichi being matched up with Andre, they probably want Goichi to win. It's I don't know, in my head thinking they probably want to get Andre back in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know who the fuck they're trying to push at fucking 170
That's
other than Umalatov, man.
It's a little interesting. I wonder what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's... You think they maybe just don't want too many Russians at 170 pound in the bracket?
Or just too many Russians in general? Because
I mean, that would just be a crazy reason to...
It would be. It didn't stop them at heavyweight.
It is kind of funny, though, how, PFL absorbs Bellator and all of a sudden their brackets are getting ran over by Russians. It's... I fucking love it, man, bro. So many fucking Dagestani or, fighters, just around there, they're going to be taking home millions of dollars this year. It is gonna...
Yeah, no.
It is gonna be fucking awesome for them, man. But I'm not really sure at all who's gonna end up in the 170 bracket. That's a real hard one to see. other like
this one
Umalatov.
was
Because
my
I said
favorite
Umalatov
but-
and Murad, but then I was like, wait a second, no, he's fighting Shamil. I didn't even think to look at who he's fighting, just assuming it was somebody
literally 2 and 3 right now in the bracket.
Yeah.
Both undefeated too. 28 and 30 years old, 5'11", 5'10", 74 and 372. Like very nearly matched up. Fucking even money on the odds. Like it's.
When was actually? Hold on.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one for sure.
They might be doing something here. When was? Because maybe now my conspiratorial mind is racing. Let's see. 407.
Sorry, I didn't mean to open up a whole can of worms, you know?
Oh, it's good. It's good.
No, you're good.
But it's just actually, like, I'm not going to lie, now it sparks more
Never
interest
mind.
for me, because it's like we were just saying, it's like when it comes to these sets of fights, it's always set up where you can almost tell exactly what's going to happen, you know, like, but now, what happens?
My first conspiracy went out the window. But secondary conspiracy, I think they're trying to push Shamil. And the reason I say that is because Murad and Don Match both have first round wins and all that, right? If both of them were to lose on tiebreakers, if they were both to still somehow be in the be number 4, by tiebreakers, Don Madge would get in. Murad would be pushed out.
Crazy.
Because Don got an RNC at 1 minute and 2 seconds of the first round.
Yeah, and
So,
but
personally that's where I think like that's potentially where that's going, but
because that's why I feel like they're just trying to push Umalatov for sure, because it's like Don Madge finished Brendan Ward sub in the first round, and now Umalatov's getting him off of a decision win, you know, so it...
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about just because of the matchup between Shamil and Murad. Like,
No, yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm, like... I know going into last week, I'm just like, oh, like, looking better than the week before. Hopefully it's more fun, and it kind of played out to be a dud. But, you know, also Salt Lake City could have just been playing a big factor in that as well.
I really think it did.
I do think 145 and 170 the second half should be a lot of fun, though. We should get some good fights in. Hopefully with just, the results, we end up with very fun tournament brackets out of those two as well.
Yep.
Well, let's go. That's PFL 6. Should get some good fun out of there. Moving on to motherfucking UFC 303 International Fight Week. Just the mix-ups, man, is just so absolutely incredible. Obviously, we've said it. It's like it's supposed to be Conor versus Chandler, with Conor pulling out, which now is confirmed to be a broken pinky toe. I guess we could start with, how do you guys feel about that? That Conor pulling out over a broken pinky toe.
At this point in his career, I don't blame him. He has done what he's had to do. He has made so much money. There is literally zero reason for him to go in there with just injured, like just to a disadvantage. There's zero reason for it. He's coming off of an injury already. He's done all of this time to come back and try to be as perfect as he can be. He fucks up his toe. Why would he get in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's gotten his titles. Like I said, he's made his money. It's just at this point, it's not like he's young and hungry and working his way up. Like he's just probably wants to finish out his contract. Like,
yeah, more than likely. I feel kind of the same way, but also, if I'm Jose Aldo, if I'm RDA, if I'm anyone who like he has talked shit about an injury, I am talking massive amounts of shit.
Yeah, I'm enjoying RDA doing that.
Because RDA had a literal broken foot.
Yeah,
I know. He said it's just a bruise.
And Jose Aldo had a broken fucking rib. If you're a fighter who has been shit talked by McGregor about an injury,
go crazy.
This is your chance. Talk all the shit you want about him.
No, yeah, like in that sense, I 100% agree. It's just like, realistically, I get it. You know what I mean? I totally see where he's coming from, but I also appreciate all the shit talk. It's like, bro, you did all that shit talking. It's your time to take it. Now it is what it is. Have fun. Like,
because it's just so perfect. Because like you said, it's so understandable and reasonable. Because it's like Conor's a big kicker too. You know what I mean? Like that's not something that he wants to fucking throw the first kick of the fight. It do the same thing where he like clipped it on an elbow and broke that shit. If he clips it on an elbow again, fucks that shit even more, and now that's just an immediate thing that he has to think about and worry about. You know what I mean? There's no point in that. But it's like you said, for all of the people that he has talked shit about, for much more reasonable injuries, and it's like, got a little broken pinky toe. The most useless toe on the foot.
It's like a little bruise. Come on, you still got your balance, brother. You could walk.
Just it is very funny of just, and then because fucking Chill, I forget what he's saying, that it was like some PD something or whatever.
He was in like,
I forget what he said.
He was in like rehab.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. yeah.
He's like, Connor would rather, and then he tweets out after Connor pointed this out. He's like, he would rather, instead of my platform make him look at least reasonable and okay, he'd rather he use his own platform to make himself look like a coward and a bitch. Okay.
Chill's undefeated, man, for a reason. But yeah, it is just funny that it took Chill saying that for him to be like, fine, look, it's my toe, alright? Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking... But yeah. So Connor pulls out all of the things we all know about it. And now we're here at the rematch, the wackiest, greatest fight that you can do at the highest level for 205 pounds.
Yep.
Alex Poatan Pereira, the reigning champ this time, taking on Yuri Prochazka. Oh,
Chills.
It's also just kind of funny though too, because it's like with Connor pulling out due to a broken toe. Poatan went into 300 with a broken toe, wins first round against Jamal Hill, breaks another toe, which it just, for all the things of like, was saying with Connor, understandable. Poatan did that and broke another toe.
Yep.
And with 2 broken toes now recovering, he's coming in to save this fucking shit main event.
The irony.
You gotta love it, man.
Love it.
But again, it's one of those things. Connor's made all of the shit. Poatan's right in the middle of making his name and his legacy, you know?
Right.
So, just what a fucking legend. And Yuri has just been waiting for a short notice call in the woods. Somehow
he gets these calls.
I was gonna say somehow he has service to answer this, but Bo Nickel didn't have service in Montana to answer the call for Robert Whitaker.
It's because he's smart. What he does is he keeps his phone out at his house. When he gets the call and it's answered by his family or whoever, they send a messenger bird to go send him a letter, and then he receives it like it's time. Come on.
See, I was gonna say it's because he has a landline. No. You wanna know? Because he's so fucking eccentric, you know what it is? The UFC have to call it into someone to then send it through Morse code, and he gets it through like those old strips where it's like did, and he just reads it and he's like, yes.
But yeah, man, even though it's on short notice, they're not going to be both at the peak of their powers. It's not going to be the best possible version of the fight.
It doesn't make it any less exciting.
Exactly. You know that it's not going to be a bad fight because of it. It's probably going to go...
better.
It's probably just going to be somewhat similar to the first one. Like, I don't see it going... Like, it could potentially go a little bit longer. It's like... I mean...
I don't think it's making it out of the first again.
Or it went into the second? Last time? Or am I stupid?
I was about to say, am I stupid?
Okay, yeah, no, 4 minutes, 8 seconds of the second round for Yuri.
Barely into the second,
No, almost
barely
into the, like, there was...
Barely almost didn't make it out of the second.
Yeah. So it's like, we got a little bit of time in that one. It very easily could end to the first round. I wouldn't be the most surprised if it went like into the third round and we got it, but I don't see it hitting the championship rounds. That just seems very unlikely.
That I agree with.
But it's also, again, I know Yuri got fucking just caught real big and, went out quick, but it's like he was recovering real well depending on the ref we have if they let it go a little bit more. Who knows? Maybe we do end up with just like a fucking Yuri Glover type fight and it's just rock'em sock'em robots throughout the fifth round. Like,
bro, that would be crazy.
Anything is on the table with these two motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
I was about to say, fucking Poatan could push him up against the cage and, try to do what he normally does, where he really starts to rip, and then all of a sudden we get Yuri, Jeremy Stevens, Prochazka doing a, jumping fadeaway knee and knocks him out. Like,
Bro,
that's possible.
Bro, Poatan's been learning fucking judo throws with Kayla Harrison. He might go out there try and fucking toss Yuri to the mat and fucking ground and pound him or sub him or something. You know what I mean? He did go for a ghillie in the fucking last one when he got pushed up on the cage. Like, he does be throwing little subs and different things out there. Like,
True.
Bro, Yuri by second round sub? I don't know. I mean, Poatan by second round sub, sorry. I don't know. But, more than likely, we're just, gonna get another great stand-up fight. But, you know, Yuri could always try and mix it up with the takedowns as well, just to try and get an advantage. He is always trying to look to evolve his game and just do better in the fights but it's like, he just is so there to be hit, man.
He is. And if he goes for, like, takedown, I feel like he saw that one fighter who got that scissor leg takedown, and he's gonna try that type shit where he just like jumps, like grabs the legs with his legs, tries to.
That's possible.
It seems like something Yuri would do.
Because because he went 1 for 3 on takedowns against Poatan in the first one. So it's like, you know, he like does show that he will like mix it up, if you know what I mean, in the times.
I want to know how many of those. I need to go back and watch that fight because I want to know how many. Because one of them obviously was legit. Once he got like hurt, then like double legged him on the cage into the hammer fist. Like, yeah, that's an obvious like was definitely trying to finish the takedown there.
Yeah.
The other, I'm curious if he was actually like trying to finish takedown or it was like more. I'm going to show that I'm going to try to shoot and try to make him think more. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. It definitely, it's like the striking is the main game plan for Yuri always. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, man. Just, even though he fucking just is coming off that amazing 300 win over Alexander Rakic, it's like,
he got touched in that one.
Bro, that fucking right hand Rakic landed on his shit, but he just continued to fucking walk forward after it. I'm so excited for this fight, man.
Yuri, someone who seems to be seemingly immune to leg kicks.
Yeah.
And their effects.
It doesn't surprise me. Because it's like we've mentioned it before with like the few people that you see their legs get torn apart and they're just like, it's whatever. It's a mental game at that point, you know? Like, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a great fight. I'm so excited. But yeah, like, even though we're saying that, it's like Poatan should still be looking to just blast him with leg kicks as much as possible.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, a great main event, the best replacement to a Conor McGregor fight that you can make right now for sure.
Yeah.
The co-main event, though, absolutely incredible. Very surprising that Brian Ortega taking this fight on short notice against Diego Lopes in general, but especially with him coming out and saying now that he was looking in like getting in talks to a fight at 155 pounds.
Yeah, because I said it when we talked about the fight being announced that I assumed he was thrown money and just the title offer, just given the world to take this fight, but must have just been a bag.
Yeah,
for real. Wonder what type of fucking bag he was offered, because Jesus.
Definitely a very nice payout.
When was the when was the last time this man took a short notice fight?
I don't ever remember him taking one in like off the top of my head.
Like, off the top of my head, I can't either.
It's just like with him looking to move up to 150, like he's a big featherweight, like he's struggled on the scales before. He's never missed weight though. It's just like how on short notice, expecting to fight 10 pounds up, how are you going to look at 145 pounds? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, with his last one, he got the win over Yair. It was very good, but it's like, dude got dropped with punches by Yair in the first round, especially if he's struggling on the scales in any sort of way. Diego Lopes is going out there, putting fucking his hands on Brian Ortega's chin, and he's out of there in under 2 minutes, guaranteed. That I have no doubt in my mind.
I am so excited for this fight. I said it, but just like this was originally supposed to be Jamal and Khalil and then Jamal and Carlos, but like I'm just infinitely more excited for this one. I think it's going to be so fucking good. And it's like, you know, people talking about like Ortega and his submission game and stuff like that. It's like Diego has a crazy submission game too, and he's never been subbed. That's
Yeah.
one thing that you generally see from people that they grapple a lot. It's like they sub people, but they get subbed. It's like neither of them have been subbed actually, but it's like Diego out here with 12 submissions, never been subbed before.
Yeah, motherfucking Oliveira been subbed by Anthony Pettis. You know what I mean?
Like he's my favorite example of it because he has the most submission wins and has how many losses by sub?
A good amount for
at
sure.
least 6.
But yeah,
But also I just wanted to look real quick. The only person who on in the UFC anyway, that I would really say was a submission threat to Brian Ortega, in all honesty, was probably Renato Moicano.
Yeah.
Like, no one else is really known for their subs.
I mean, to be fair, Moicano is really a threat with the rear naked choke. You know what I mean? If he ain't taking your back, he ain't really no threat to any submissions.
No, But that's what I mean, though.
I know what you mean. It definitely is a very different matchup for Ortega, even though he's been in the game for so long. But man, if it does go to the grappling at all, I cannot wait to see how that goes. But I just don't even feel like we're going to get there.
I don't think so either, honestly.
If Diego's smart, he keeps it on the feet.
Yeah, and
why even risk it?
I mean, it's also just hard to because with all the power and everything, it's like he is going to be he is vulnerable on the feet because it's like dude just goes right after motherfuckers, just full power, full throttle, everything. It's like Ortega is a slick striker in his own right. He does have some good head movement sometimes, some very solid counter strikes. He does have good power himself. It's I wouldn't be the most surprised fucking Diego starts putting pressure on early too aggressively and motherfucking Ortega how he hit Korean Zombie, spinning back elbow coming in, boop, clean on the shit
Yeah, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it I don't know. The last time he was knocked out was 2018, so that was a while ago. He was much younger. His last loss after that in 2021 was going to a decision with Joe Anderson Brito, who I believe has much more power than Brian Ortega. So it's I know that it's different levels to things, but it's I don't know. If he can go to a decision with him, I'm not worried about him getting knocked out by Brian. That's the least of my worries.
It's just the wacky factor of Ortega. You know what I mean? He can land some slick shit.
I know anything can happen, but I'm just not.
It's definitely not it's not my biggest, you know what I mean? But
right.
If Ortega ended up walking away with a first or second round knockout or something, I wouldn't be the most surprised. Shit, even if Brian Ortega is getting beat the fuck up for 2 rounds straight and then finds a 3rd round sub or something, he's done that so many times in his career as well. Ortega is not out of it for sure, but with all the factors given, Diego's always ready too. It's
exactly.
He's always I feel he's just one of those guys now where damn near every event you see him in someone's corner. You know what I mean? He's just always out there. When James Krause was around doing his thing, you always saw him at every single UFC event just cornering somebody. I feel like that's Lopes now, and it's just prime of his career, ready to go.
Was on the Ultimate was helping on the Ultimate Fighter for Team Grasso. I feel like he is one of those people who legitimately damn near lives in the gym.
Yeah, man. He definitely ready for this opportunity. Number 14 versus number 3. Giant step up. If he gets a win in spectacular fashion, it's they probably are already looking to go Ilya Max Holloway, but if if that's not done, ready to go, and they don't have the right timeline for Ilya Volkanovski, bro, Diego's right motherfucking there. Give him that opportunity, and you know he's taking it. And
and
that's a fun one.
Yeah,
bro, Ilya versus Diego Lopes. Oh my goodness, sign me up. That is
in my vein.
One of the best fights that you can make in just the UFC right now. And especially if he shows out against Ortega, really cementing himself at the top of that division, you know? Because it's motherfucking prime Max Holloway versus prime Ortega. It's got the corner stoppage, whatever, at the end of the 4th, but it's couldn't sit him down, you know what I mean? Ortega just toughened it out. So if he runs through him, man.
Really, it's just that tough.
Just so goddamn good. The featured bout, though. I love this. I love this. Originally booked as the co-main event of Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. And then Khalil Rountree's like, I popped motherfuckers, I'm out. And so the UFC's, all right, we got to find something. Let's go Carlos Oberg. He just got a good win, right, against the top 15 guy. He can do it. All right, cool. Oh, Connor pulled out. Jamal Hill also pulled out. Let's go Anthony Smith now versus Carlos Oberg. A very reasonable fight that should have been made. Very good.
Yep.
Oh, Carlos Oberg is out on a week's notice or bout. Let's go. Who can we get? 185-pound, number 10 ranked Roman Dolidze stepping in on short notice against number 10 ranked light heavyweight Anthony Smith at 205 pounds.
Wacky.
Wacky.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's just absolutely amazing.
The amount of changes this fight has gone through is amazing.
It's
We
just
went from one fight to a completely different fight to another completely different fight.
yeah, and also just funny too of like the style difference of what we were supposed to get from Jamal Hill to Khalil to now Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. Like, they're gonna be grappling the fuck out of each other. You know what I mean? And Jamal versus Khalil was gonna be fucking, oh my god, just banger central. Like, oh, yeah. I'm still excited for this one. This should still end up being a pretty fun fight.
This should be interesting.
I just feel like Smith's gonna be a bit too big, probably a bit too tricky for him. Might be able to get Roman Dolidze out of there, but probably grinds out a 3-round decision.
Yeah. But also, Dolidze does have a bit of power. He could hit Anthony with some hard shots.
Yeah, 205, though, you just gotta wonder at short notice as well.
I know. I just think that part's the interesting part. I think Roman probably tries to keep this one standing. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know, man. Like, he's a very competent grappler. Like, that.
He is. I just don't know how
I'm interested in it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm interested in it. It's so wacky because of how we got here, and like how much like time like Roman had to like. All right, what's like Eric Nixick? What's the game plan? You know?
Yeah. I mean, Eric will be able to come up with a good one. Pretty short notice. Anthony Smith is a very well-known guy. I'm sure he's been looking at his shit forever. So like that's. Yeah.
I was just like thinking about. I'm like, how many fights has he fought against Extreme Couture fighters?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I know they got more middleweight guys, but
no, yeah. But remember, he was a middleweight for a long time.
Very true. But yeah, that is definitely an interesting fight at 205 pounds. We'll see how that plays out. Fucking Dolidze goes out there, beats the dog shit out of Anthony Smith. Who knows if he wants to just stick around at 205 pounds? He might be like, this is the weight class for me, you know? Like, you never know how shit might play out. Next fight on the main card, Mayra Bueno Silva. She is back after an absolutely terrible loss at the start of this year to Rocky Pennington for the title. 3-rounders though, much better for her for sure. And taking on Macy Chiasson, very solid fighter, but not the greatest fighter. Mayra could definitely find the sub, but bro, I hope Macy goes out there, slice and dices with some elbows and some great clinch work, and just beats the shit out of Mayra, man. Let's go.
I'm hoping for a Macy win because she's really not a bad fighter.
No, not at all. It's like 9-3 overall in her career. It's like she's definitely struggled on the scales a little bit herself. But
I mean, she was looking great in her last fight. She weighed in 135.5. You know, she said that she's feeling a lot better, just definitely looking better at the weight class. So if she is looking good on the scales again this week, then I think that she probably got her shit together.
Yeah, and it's like, who knows how Mayra has just how she's taken that loss and how she's gonna come back. So
hopefully with better cardio.
She will definitely need it. But let's maybe Mason can get like a nice knockout or something. That'd be pretty damn cool. I would love that. Her getting a nice knockout is definitely the best way for her to get herself into the mix for the title, because it's like, Kayla Harrison's right there. Juliana is just a bigger name for the division, so she's easily can just be thrown into one, even though she's undeserving.
She doesn't need to silently remove her.
Like Macy got to do something big, and then she could jump her, But other than that, we'll see how that division plays out. But maybe it's gonna start to get a little bit more fun,
Hopefully.
Main card opener though, an absolutely amazing fight at 170 pounds. Ian Machado Gary is back taking on Michael Venom Page, MVP. Two just very high level strikers. There is probably not going to be much grappling in this one. How do you guys feel about this bout?
I'm still excited for it. I still am really excited for this fight. It made sense being on this card when Conor was still on the card, but after Conor fell out, it really was like, man, this card should probably be on the like England pay-per-view, shouldn't have been.
I mean, it's International Fight Week, you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing that makes it make sense, is that you can have whatever you want going on. It's International Fight Week.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I just...
Also,
you know what I mean,
me and Jimmy were talking about it, and to be honest, I think they should be doing more things like this, where they're not pushing so hard to make things regional, like with fighter specific, because, like, you can have better cards if they didn't push it so hard, but that's the story.
Well, yeah, sometimes they push a little too hard, sometimes they don't. It all depends on what it is. This is just one of those ones where I do feel like it'd be interesting to have it there, or like if Ian was able to have like a fight night main event in like Dublin or something, you know?
No, yeah, and the biggest thing with that is because MVP was talking about that, like, he wanted it to be on that card so he can have like the full proper time to like prepare for the training camp, but because it was pushed so hard for Ian to be on this card, he was just like, all right, fine, like, you know, I'll take it like a little bit shorter notice just to like be on the big card, get the fight, whatever. So I know he is definitely very upset about that now.
Yeah,
for sure.
So like, yeah, no, that's the other part, is that fight did come about like shorter notice than I thought it would have been.
Yeah.
Also, it's like, let's be real though, you have the main event, co-main event fall out, you're gonna pull off another card on the main card just because now it doesn't make sense. They can't do that.
No. Oh, yeah, that's not what I. That's
no, I know. I'm just like thinking of it like that. Like they can't do that.
When I first heard it like happen on this card, but it was like, okay, but Connor's on the card, you know, makes sense. Really push these guys. Really push either Gary or MVP, depending on, you know, who wins. But now that he's not on the card and it's gonna have less exposure, it's like, man, I really wish this was on the.
No, yeah. Because at the time, it also made more sense, too, like Conor Chandler, and they were looking to get Ian versus Colby, so you could have the Ireland versus America thing, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It was a very great thing that they could have done, but it was just, it just fell apart from the start with Colby, and then,
just...
All right, so we all just blame Colby for cursing 303 to not being what it was supposed to be?
Hell yeah.
So Colby cursed.
Yes, let's fucking go.
All right, got it.
But yeah, it should definitely be a fun fight, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope Ian can get it done.
I want him to win because of my draft, but I really kind of hope MVP goes out there and just wheel kicks him, knocks him out, and he's in a title fight. You know what I mean?
I'm more on that train, too. I want MVP.
Let's fucking go. I'm sorry. MVP he just has one of the greatest highlight reels across MMA, even though it's against people that he shouldn't have been fighting because he was clearly much better than them, but that was some Bellator shit. I don't give a fuck. It's absolutely spectacular, and I want to see him do that at the highest level.
I understand.
Even though he's older, which makes it more fun, too.
I just find Ian Gary annoying as fuck.
I don't mind him. He's a good fighter. And, like, you know, it'd be good to, like, just see. It would be cool to, like, see him stay undefeated as well and, like, just continue to rise and, just get a whole bunch of, like, very good fights at the top of the division with all these young rising stars. Like, I for sure understand that.
Yeah, and it's like Shavkat stays undefeated, becomes champ, and it's like Ian versus Shavkat, who stays undefeated. You know what I mean? Like, there are just things to be set up here that we can leave the 37-year-old out of.
Again, blame Colby. Didn't have to be this way. Now Ian's got to lose his own. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Blame Colby.
Sorry about your luck.
That's just going to be the new running joke on this podcast. Blame Colby.
I don't want to talk about him that much.
We could probably find so many ways that we could blame him for stuff, you know? Especially at 170. But I get it.
I mean, he is the reason for a lot of bullshit at 170.
Yeah, but very solid main card though. Easily on paper a better main card now. Because of like all the mix-ups and everything, we now got Joe Pyfer, Marc-Andre Barrios not on the main card. Shouldn't have been on the main card.
Thank God.
So yeah, Cub Swanson, Andre Feely still on this shit, man. Like what a fucking legend fight between them. Then Kate, I'll let you take it away, the motherfucking boy.
Peyton Talbot's back. I like that they're, even though he's showing great things, that they're letting him build up kind of just some more experience and getting his confidence and just, building up a record because, he came into the UFC fucking 6-0. He's 2-0 now. That win against Cameron Saman is really good, but now he's fighting a guy who's 12-2, not making his debut. I think he's actually 0-1. He got finished by Waterson-gomez. Yeah. So it's just like it's kind of set up that he should win this fight. This is definitely a drop down from Cameron, but I like that they're doing that. He doesn't even have 10 professional fights. Like, let him cook a little bit because he's great. Don't push him too quick. But in like 2 years, it's going to be a lot of fun.
No, yeah, like exactly. Like Giannis Gamori, 29 years old, fighting out of France, like a very solid kickboxer. Like, fought William Gomez and lost that, but it's like William Gomez, a very good fighter. You know what I mean? So it's like just like you said, just great experience building for Peyton. That's what he needs right now. Keep giving him fights that it's just going to give him different looks and maybe get some spectacular finishes, build up his resume, and just,
Yeah, like that's the type of stuff they got to do to people.
Yeah, man, it definitely should be a very fun fight because it's like Peyton's scrappy as a motherfucker on the feet, and it's like he's got the grappling too, so...
Hell yeah, the only reason why he has one decision is because dude on Contender Series, Reyes Cortez, stupid tough and got beat the hell up over 3 rounds. Like, he just wouldn't go down. Some people,
Yeah.
Jinder, any other big things on this prelims that you like? I know I got a few more things that I like on this prelims.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah, I know. These prelims are pretty good, actually. Prelim opener, Rick Simon versus Vinicius Oliveira. I do like this fight a lot.
Yes.
It really is going to show where Vinicius is in this division. He got the blinding knockout in his last one in his UFC debut.
Yeah, beautiful.
Ricky not on the greatest run right now.
But also just not far removed from being a solid top 15 fighter either.
No, exactly.
Like, yeah, because it's like 2-fight losing streak, but Song Yadong and Mario Batista.
Was on a good streak before that, had a 2-fight losing streak before that, and then So, but like the people he's lost to in the UFC, this is why I like it, because it will really show where Vinicius is if he gets a win. Uriah Faber, Rob Font, Song Yadong, Mario Batista. Like, besides for Batista, who just got into the top 15, like Song Yadong been very solid so far. Rob Font, very solid, been in top 15 for a while now. Uriah Faber, literally one of the probably top 5 bantamweights, and definitely one of the best bantamweights to never win the bantamweight title in the UFC.
And it's like, even at that point, we're going back to 2019, 5 in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, he's 31 years old. He's in his prime now. Those guys are a bit older. Was probably in their prime at the time.
It was like Bautista on a great streak too. He gonna prove himself that that's a, you know what I mean? That's not a bad loss. That will definitely happen. But I am very surprised that they're giving this big of a step to Vinicius Oliveira. I don't know, maybe just could just be a UFC matchmaker type thing where they see something in this specific matchup that could just Oliveira could get a good spectacular win, you know what I mean?
But it's just funny because it's Vinicius with his 3 losses all come by knockout.
Yeah.
Yes.
And bro, fucking Ricky Simone is a tank in this fucking division. 135 pounds. He's been stopped before, but it's it's a very intriguing fight for sure. This is definitely gonna let us know where Vinicius is at in this division, 100%. Because he goes out there, first round knockout, flying knee, or just some big shit or something. Dude could easily be fighting top 15 next.
Yeah.
Honestly, a fight that I do love on this prelim as well. Charles Jourdain versus Jean Silva. Silva fighting out of Fighting Nerds. Charles Jourdain has been a very solid. He's been a back and forth, you know what I mean. But he has had very solid wins.
Fun.
Yeah, and just so much fun in this division. This is a very good test for Silva to see where he's at coming up in the UFC, and I'm very excited for that one.
Oh yeah.
And then the last one I feel like that's really to mention that I feel like we're all on the same page as
Jillian Robertson.
Yeah.
Bruh, I love her.
Yes, I love her, and I want her to win so bad, But it's also, I just feel like so bad for Michelle Waterson-Gomez. You know, it's like just so far out of her prime, man. Like Jillian is so clearly should be able to get this fight to the ground and get the sub.
That's what I was gonna say. At least she's just gonna get subbed, though. You know?
Yeah, but it's just like,
I mean, probably because Jillian's last fight, she did decide to go out there and get a ground and pound finish. Remember?
Yeah,
she actually
very true.
punched Polyana out.
But that was also in Canada.
True.
Yeah, got that little extra power up on the home turf. But yeah, man, it's like it's so crazy that fucking Jillian's record 13-8 overall. Like, it looks so fucking bad, but it's like she's such a good, solid fighter. It's so fucking it's so crazy. But like, yeah, just as of late 2022, just Maria Agapova, Pereira Rodriguez lost the decision to Tabitha Ricci, and then Polyana Viana. You know, like just went in the last 3 out of her last 4, looking very nice. She's gonna get this win more than likely over Michelle Waterson-Gomez, and she's gonna be fighting some top 15. Michelle's already top 15 still, right?
They're both top 15 right now.
I forgot that. Oh yeah, they just put her in top
15, and Michelle Waterson-Gomez is 14.
Yeah.
So this will give her her first top 15 win, though.
Yes.
Yes.
It's one of how old is she? She's still 28, 29, right?
29.
29.
Yeah.
She's just not great on the feet. She does kind of walk into punches, doesn't have the greatest striking, and just isn't the most physical in this weight class either. I'm not sure how far she's gonna go, but I really don't want her to actually kind of go too far.
Me neither. There's a very specific
sub all these unranked people that
yes, because the thing is that if she can keep fighting often and just subbing these people, maybe losing a decision to somebody so that she gets bounced back down, and then she can keep fighting often, because once you start getting more into the rankings, it's harder to get matchmaking, it's harder to get fights, and it's harder to be as active.
Yeah.
If she can fight 3 times a year and keep fighting people she can win against and sub them, bro, she'll be up there with Oliveira numbers and submissions. And that'd be amazing. Because if anybody can get up there, it's Jillian Robertson, and she's the only person that I think that can.
Yeah,
she has 7 subs already. She's only 29 years old. She fights 3 times a year and keeps getting at least 2 subs a year. Psh.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you need to be in UFC for a long time to be able to do that type of shit.
Oh yeah,
to catch up to Oliveira, and it's hard for a lot of guys to be able to do that, just fighters in general, to do that shit.
That's why I think the only person that has a chance to even reach those types of numbers as of right now is Jillian.
Because Oliver's at 16? Or is that finishes overall and he's at 12 or 13? Because it's
no, he's at 20 finishes overall.
No, 20. Okay. So it's 16 subs then,
16.
Right? Okay, yes. So it's she's 9 behind, and like Kate said, it's she's 29 years old. Let's
say she subs Michelle right here, she's at 10.
Yeah, it's
or wait, no, I said 7.
Yeah, so it'd be 8. But it's if she can get 2 subs a year it's 5 years from now, she'll be 34 years old. That's very possible. She's still in the UFC getting good wins, and she'll already be surpassed him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's we see especially women that'll fight way longer, fight until 37, 38, 39, fucking 40. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and the thing is, even she gets us up here. She's already in great company because she'd be tied for number 6 with Frank Mir and Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah, that's
2 more
crazy.
after that.
That's so insane.
She'd be tied. Yeah. 2 more after that, she'd be tied with Nate Diaz, Gerald Mearshart. It's 1 more after that, Damian Maia, then Jim Miller, then Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
You're in great company, even if you only get to 8 to 10.
No, yeah, for sure, and that's why
that's
why I'm saying she might not even surpass it, but just getting up to those numbers, you know what I mean, and just being in that group where it's damn, she got mad subs. That's crazy. Good for her.
Yeah, because she could easily, I'm sure she probably already has the most in her division, but, she could, start getting up into those numbers. Man, she'll cement that shit for fucking ever, probably.
Yeah.
I doubt there's going to be another girl coming in just getting that many subs, because she's just been around for so long already. But, yeah, very excited for that, though. Very much hope that she just gets a nice solid
win. At 115.
Huh?
She hasn't been at 115 that long, has she?
No.
No.
I wasn't sure if she was bouncing around or not.
Because she hasn't. She's not in the top 10 of 115. But also, Mackenzie Dern has 4 at.
Oh, yeah, she was fighting at 25 for a little bit.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah. Well, let's go. She'll by the time she ends her career, she'll be up there for sure.
Yeah. And then did you want to bring up the few fight announcements?
Yeah, because that's all the real fights to get into for UFC.
She does have the most at
303.
125.
Nice. Let's go. So she'll get the
That's
most in 2
6.
divisions. Let's go. But yeah, motherfucking a little bit of fight news since there's not too much. Hey, what you got for us?
The first one, Javid Basharati and Chris Gutierrez. That's happening Abu Dhabi, August 3rd.
Yeah, that is such a weird one. Not expecting Javid to take his first pro career loss and then get a top 15 opponent.
Well, right outside the top 15.
Sorry,
He's
yeah.
not ranked anymore,
Yeah.
but literally right there. He just lost it.
Yeah,
He's at like number 17.
probably. Yeah, like it. Very, very tough fight for Javid.
Yeah, it's just crazy because he had the no contest with Victor Henry. Then he lost the decision to Ayman Sahabi, and now he's fighting Chris Gutierrez. But
They accidentally just mixed up the phone numbers. They meant to call him as the hobby.
he meant to call his brother.
But yeah, that definitely should be a fun fight, though. I'm definitely excited for that. Hopefully, Javid can get that done.
Yeah, and then the only other one is Taito Ivasa and Jairzinho Rosenstruck.
Which, again, how many times do we gotta fuck up the matchmaking on Derek Lewis versus Jar Jar Binks, man? Like, I am just so sick of this shit. What the fuck are they doing?
Bro. It's like, yeah, because who does Derek Lewis even fight next? He's literally, I think
Justin Tafa.
Sure.
I mean, fine, why not?
Yeah, why don't they want them to fight?
I don't know, man.
The only person Derek Lewis has not fought in the top 15 is Alexander Romanov.
He's fought everyone else.
Yes.
And Rosenstruck.
Oh yeah,
and
Rosenstruck.
Stipe and Rosenstruck.
Oh yeah, okay.
Those 3. He's not ever getting a Stipe fight, so I didn't count that. Yeah, then Rosenstruck, Romanov, but we were just talking about Romanov, Derek Lewis. Did he not fight Tom?
No, he didn't. He didn't fight Tom.
Okay, even then, he has not fought only 4 people.
And then the champ.
Sergey.
That doesn't count.
That don't count.
I know.
That's why we brought up Tom.
But no,
Literally
yeah, 4 people. In
Yeah,
the top
11
15.
of the top 15 he's fought.
Well, because then he's in there, so like 5. But yeah,
14.
10 of the 10 of the top 15.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane. Yeah, just give them unranked guys. And if an unranked guys wins, now they're in the top 15. You know what I mean? That's how you get new names. And then that's how you get new names, and that's how Derek Lewis increases the knockout record. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Exactly.
But Taito Ivasa, Jairzinho Rosenstruck, though, is not a bad fight in all reality.
No.
Someone's getting knocked the fuck out. What is that, 5 in a row down for Ty now? I think.
What?
Or he's down 4 right now, so
Down
if he
4.
loses this will be 5.
Yeah, man, that is
Subbed in,
absolutely rough.
knocked out in the first 2 and then subbed in the last 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
3rd round, 2 first round, and 2nd round. Yeah, man, if Ty loses this one, which he easily can, fuck, man, yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I hate this fight. I don't want this. Ty's gonna get knocked the fuck out and cut from the UFC.
I doubt they cut him.
5 finished losses in a row.
Bro, he is still a fan favorite. They're not going to cut that man. They'll
Maybe.
just feed him a couple of unranked fighters who they think he can beat.
It's crazy that 4 finished losses in a row and motherfuckers still ranked top 10. People think that that's acceptable. It's crazy.
No, yeah, especially considering they're all finishes and okay. The first 2, it was all right. Lost to interim champion Cyril Gahn. Former interim champion Cyril Gahn. Okay. Sergey Pavlovich, insanely powerful motherfucker. Volkov, that's the fucked up part though. It's okay, you lost to Volkov by sub. That's the fucked up part. And then lost to Tybora via sub, but we kind of figured that one going in. The only loss out of all those that does they got is the Volkov by sub.
Yeah, it's dude lost to 4 of the top 8 guys. Why is he still fighting this level of competition?
He shouldn't be, because the thing is
terrible.
His last ranked win is Derek Lewis. And then once you get past that, his wins are Sakai, Greg Hardy, Harry Hunsucker, Stefan Struve.
Very nice. Yeah, the UFC is just gonna do UFC things. He's in there to knock someone out or get knocked out. So yeah, they're just always gonna put him in big fights as much as they can.
Yeah.
But that is the brief little bit of fight news that we got for this week. That is the end of this episode of the podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. Cannot wait to see how everything happens for UFC 303. Let's go. We will catch you on that review. Peace out, everyone.